All right. So as that get queued up. All right, cool beans. All right, everyone. We've already done our introductions. Just know that this here is a YouTube video so that you can refer and send to family members, friends, anyone that is in the legal space in need of legal support. You want to send this to them as I break down how we're going to move forward in the legal arena. So, National Block Club University, that's the legal structure. We're headquartered out of Chicago, 20 black zip codes. Each zip code is linked to a different city and around America, a different country in Africa, and a white suburb and a black suburb and Mississippi. That's the linkages that all come from our zip codes. And ultimately, the goal is to get black people coordinated so that we can improve the way of living and also push back on all the people who benefit on blacks being on the bottom. So we operate this system here. So if you look at this document here, it's telling you what the code is. You heard Governor Charles bring up the code. The code matters because we need to have something that we can speak a language that we all eventually will understand and the enemy won't. And even if they did, they won't know how to stop it. So that Y stands for the color, which you can see is yellow. So we only have three colors, yellow, green, and blue. So it will be a Y for yellow, green, G, or a B for blue. And then the second one is the alphabet that tells us what day of the week it is. It's T because today is Tuesday. If it's S, that could be Saturday or Sunday. If it's W, you know that's Wednesday. And then the last one is which Tuesday. It's the fourth Tuesday of the month. And so systematically, what this means
Yeah,
is
I love
every fourth Tuesday. I'm
English.
sorry. Okay, so every fourth Tuesday of the month, every fourth Tuesday, we concentrate on our attorneys, the children that want to grow up and become attorneys. That's the focus, is all about the law. This falls under team number 8 to us. Team number 8 out of 8 teams is dealing with legal. As black people in the world, we have legal redress that we need to be taking on a lot of matters. So it makes sense for us to be promoting the legal arena. Every Tuesday is also education day, so you see education have it there, and then it shows you the blocks. So just know these blocks that you're seeing here, 1100 block of Leamington, 700 block of Leamington. These blocks, we give them information on our lawyers that we know about, children that want to be lawyers. Those blocks essentially work for you. They work for bringing all things Team 8 in documentation form and information sharing form so we can support our lawyers so that they can be more support to us. 82nd and Colfax, that's our third graders link. That's what that block stands for. That's what we asked them to do. And then 700 block of Laurel, that's right now, as you see, 7 o'clock. We on this 7 o'clock call. So they should be physically meeting right now, and they'll be going over what we're going over here or on the Zoom. Then you have St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri is our national headquarters for all lawyers in Black America. That's the neighborhood today in St. Louis that is on duty, Fountain Park. The white suburb linked to all our lawyers is Winnetka. We do have a few. I think they one German and one is British lawyers in Winnetka that we talk to. The profession is what we talked about, lawyers. The black suburb is Matson. And I think we got some people in Matson. Mike Perkins might have those contacts. I don't, but we got some people in Matson. Ivory Coast is the African country that keeps the list of all the lawyers in the continent of Africa. So that's how that works. The same way St. Louis keeps the list of all our lawyers in America, Ivory Coast keeps the list of all the lawyers we meet in the continent of Africa. The same way 60644 keeps the link of all our Chicago lawyers. Then finally, well, almost finally, Mississippi. So as you can see here, Durant, Mississippi. You got Pickens, Mississippi, Kasakusuko, that's where Oprah was born at, Mississippi, and Goodman at 7 o'clock. And it tells you how black they are: 86% black, 90% black, 53% black, and 70%. Mississippi is crucial for blacks because that's our sanctuary state. We hope to see Mississippi literally from top to bottom be a place where we can go and relax, be safe, and ultimately have our children during the summer months have an outlet to go to. Then the final one is Afros in France. The G20 has 20 countries that meet every year, and they meeting is all about keeping blacks on the bottom. So, in we 2023, we decided to monitor all 20 of them, and so 60644 monitors France. And in doing that, since we've been monitoring them every YT4 day, we've been able to extract and pull up the Afro French, those who are born in France but are of Afro descent, and we're working on building that relationship with them. So that's my full explanation on the YouTube, so you guys can share that with people and they'll know. Who else joined the call? You might be on mute.
Brother Reaven,
Hope
sorry. Brother
excellent,
Reaven.
Raven, excellent, excellent. Did we was expecting Madeline too? Did Madeline jump on? Not yet. Okay. All right. Raven, you already know Superstar Gail. She can't talk, but she's on, and then Governor Charles.
How y'all doing, family? I'm
What's up,
down.
Raven?
I'm out at the fitness club, so I'll be in and out. Excuse me.
Hi, hi, hello.
Hey,
Raven, you hear
hey,
Sister Gail talking, speaking to you?
hey, sis, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm black. I'm blacknificent.
Hey, right. All
That's
right.
it.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
it. That's it. That's it. So, Raven, I'm just this is being recorded because I want people to be able to send this around and stuff. So, this the other topic right here. This flyer here, you guys. So, uh, every summer, y'all already know the rat race begins. You got 300 events and meetings, so everyone is running around. It's hard to get people's attention, which is why our goal is always June 30th to get our 1,000 people doing their dollar, because after that, we know it's hard to catch people. So in this flyer here, it's an illustration that says, will Chicago and Gary adults allow our children to be idle this summer, all because we couldn't agree on $1? So they got on the left side there, you see them sitting around, doing nothing all summer long. Then on the other side is some vibrancy going on. And they say every summer we see the same cycle: idle time, missed opportunities, violence, disconnection. But this summer can be different, not because of more meetings, because of more rallies, but because of a simple decision. We pulled our dollars together. If we can't unite around $1, how can we expect to build jobs, travel, safe environments in the future? And then it gives our information down there. What y'all think about that?
Once again, I love the depiction of the picture and the message behind it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, which is just true to me. You know, just as you say, how can we expect to do bigger if we can't do small?
and,
It's just where I'm at with
and
it.
that dollar, you see, it's yellow. Yeah, I want that to stand out. Like, no, could keep that at the front of their mind because we 46 million. That should be the focus every month. So, all right, let me pull this one down. All right, this one here is about, and y'all know I don't like put my pitch out there, but I felt the need to do this one. Um, Okay, so it's busy. I know it's a lot going on, but here's the gist of it. When people hear me say we get 1,000 people by June 30th, everything changes. They like, yeah, right. But that's because they don't know the block by block infrastructure. But one of the first things that I will be able to do when we hit the 1,000 people is get on that Amtrak train, $26 to Milwaukee. And we even got a lot of contacts in Milwaukee. A lot of us got people, so it's a matter of once we hit it, all of us reaching out to our Milwaukee people to get up there to Milwaukee. And the goal of that is so we can get Milwaukee black businesses and the people to do what we would have just done in Chicago, which is get 1,000 people to pull their dollar together. And meeting with them, we can say we did it. That's why I can't go before we do it, because we gotta be able to say this is what we did. But the key is with that $1,000 from Milwaukee, that's so that they can travel to the Chicago uh, summits each month. And so that way now they got a real tangible something to do every single month because those 1,000 people, and also to the conventions in Gary. So that budget of the 1,000 is really so that they can travel, and then we'll increase that as we get more and more people seeing the vision. But now our Chicago summits that we do in Chicago now got Milwaukee section in there. And then once we leave Milwaukee, then we go to Detroit, we go to St. Louis, and we keep getting them 1,000 people in every city. And that means that we're going to start to see this vibrancy. And I want to pause there, get y'all thoughts on that. And y'all might be on mute still.
Um, yeah, this Governor Charles. Um, yeah, once again, love it, love it, love it. Because by doing that, and then the word gets around at the same time. This new, instead of we seeing the same things over and over again, that's
Mm-hmm.
something new. That's something that's a sight, and that's something about the people, even ordinary, what we call ordinary people instead of organizations, putting up and then labeling their people is as far as okay, just like we see in the summer. Okay, the yellow shirts, the red shirts over here, but that money is driven by, we already know that's crime, supposed to be crime bill money, which goes to churches and stuff, and then but it stops right there. At the end of summer, you have nothing, the same results. You know, nobody moved around really, murder. You to move from a couple of blocks saying be nice, be kind to each other, but still no substance really in that. You know, there's nothing
Yeah.
to actually put a stop or end or to, as we saying, travel or grow or meet other people, meet other cities, and you know stuff like that. Yeah.
Well,
So it's a great thing.
you know firsthand from taking the teenagers to Atlanta,
Yeah.
to Detroit, what impact that travel does. And the fact that ultimately our dollars is paying for it is even better. I mean, black solution, not just black talking
Right.
about a
Right.
problem,
Us
but that,
doing for ourselves and not
yeah.
begging the government and the cities and stuff like that to do it for us. We doing that's do for self, which I
And
love it.
and and the other piece, people, I want to make sure people know, because they say $1,000 is nothing. Once you got 1,000 people, you got the narrative. You got to have the narrative of look at what we've done.
Hmm.
Got to be able to say that. You can't say I'm trying. As soon as you say that, they ain't even trying to hear you. So you got to say
Right.
this is what we did already, and that same way we did that, just they spouses alone gets us to 2,000 people. So it's like no, we got to first crawl before we walk. And so I also had the 500 buckets activated. We've been holding on to these buckets for 14 years since 2012. We got them in August 2012. 500 professionally made buckets with a white top that you slide the loose change in. And these buckets are going inside the black businesses so that we can have a job created going around picking up the loose change from all these buckets in all these black stores by zip code. This is going to put money directly. The pennies going to Africa, the nickels going to Mississippi, the dimes going to your sister city. So that loose change is going to allow us to make sure it's even more travel with the children coming up from Mississippi, Africa getting the money from the pennies to Africa. So those buckets being activated is going to put people to work and allow people to go into their stores and add value to us. Then the last one on here is the kindergarten through 12th grade 13 most important blocks in Chicago. And I want to read those blocks real briefly on for the record so people would know. The reason why we say these 13 blocks are the most important is because it covers every grade, kindergarten through 12th grade. And why we say these are the most important blocks is because these are our villages. I just wanted to highlight one block in the village. So it's really about how do we carve out 16 blocks that's going to focus on first grade Summer Olympics, first grade Spring Olympics, first grade Fall Olympics, and first grade Winter Olympics for every grade. So when you hear these blocks, think about the four-season Olympics for those grades, getting the children to come into that neighborhood and compete in the summer, fall, spring Olympics. So Kindergarten University is over on 12th and Colon. That's North Lawndale. First grade university is 79th and Hermitage. That's Auburn Gresham. Second grade university is 49th and Calumet. That's over there in 60615 zip code. Third grade university is 82nd and Colfax, 60617. Fourth grade university is on 53rd and Calumet, still 60615. Fifth grade university, 77th and Drexel, Chatham. Sixth grade university, 56 in Michigan, right by you, Reed. Woodlawn. Seventh grade university, 91st in Chappelle, 60617. Eighth grade university, 112th in Prairie. That's you, Governor Charles. Ninth grade university, 84th in Yates, 60617. 10th grade university is back in Auburn Gresham, 86 in Wallace, right by Simeon Reven. 11th grade university, 69th in Stewart. That's Inglewood. 12th grade university, 80th and Muskegon, 60617. That's a big deal, y'all. So when we hit the 1,000, going up to Milwaukee, we activating these 13 blocks so that they can get ready to host the Summer Olympics. And we already got the list of children for each grade. We get their friends and let's get over there and start competing and winning stuff. We got the $1,000. We can split some of that to put into awards. All right,
Okay.
what y'all think about this?
Question. I got a question.
Yes,
Mine's
sir.
on my mind. I'm not hearing
Yes.
a lot of West Side though.
All right. Great observation. And only a Chicago person would say that. So just know there's a lot of people listening in Milwaukee. They are like, who cares? Here's the best way I can explain it so everyone know. Every zip code is 20 of them in Chicago has a specialty, a specialty. So 60617 specialty is teachers and education. That's why you heard four different grades for that one zip code 60617. 60628 Roseland specialty is our nurses, pastors, and truck drivers. But we snuck in eighth graders. But that ain't, that ain't their focus is nurses primarily. We just snuck eighth graders in over there. Then you have Auburn Gresham. They got birth first graders and 10th graders in their neighborhood. But their zip code is for all our veterinarians in the city of Chicago. The West Side, because West Side is on duty on Tuesdays, West Side Education Day is all the zip codes because of that. But we wanted to make sure that we didn't mix up our teachers with 60617 with that. So that's why you only see kindergartners over there. But every Tuesday is Education Day, and every Tuesday those six zip codes are on duty. So if that was the long way of me describing it, it's an administrative thing on the back end, Governor Charles. But just know every Tuesday it's a West Side zip code on duty, which is Education Day. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I hear it now. Yep. Get it.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, and then I got Office of $1 fares in there, y'all. Let me say why I think that's important for people to hear that. We are saying that collecting $1 long term is a job created.
We can't hear you, sir. You kind of faded out. Yeah, we can't hear you. Yep, still
All
nothing.
right, Madeline is about to
Okay.
jump on. So
Oh,
that
okay.
Office of $1 fares, can can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear
Okay.
you.
So that Office of $1 we want to make sure people know that's not going nowhere. That's here to stay. Even when they take money away, it's the concept of making certain that we know we want something that's affordable for everyone to participate in. And when you scale that up, it's a lot of money. $46 million a month is a lot of money. Half of that, $23 million a month, is a lot of money. And we know what is it for? It's for all these cities to be traveling to the conventions and to the summit. Essentially that's what it's for. It's for the children to be winning money with the awards. So that's the benefit, you guys, of having it. So when people say, how's that dollar gonna make it scale it up? Where's it going? It's going into the convention summits and the awards. Like that. that's really clear and concise, I think. But I just wanted to make sure that they know the Office of $1 Fares is the job creator. It allows us to have a reason to talk to every single person about how they can add value. Anything I left out with that, Governor?
It's pretty clear to me. Yeah.
All right.
Pretty
Madeline's
clear.
getting ready to jump on. Let me pull this one here up. All right. So this next one here is what's gonna ultimately happen. And I got, my wife caught it. They supposed to say it's side heads to Milwaukee. You got C. So you got to get AI to fix that. Put the Y there. But just so people know, the 1,000 is everything because again, we're not just limited to that. Once we got Chicago, then it's Milwaukee, then it's Detroit, then it's St. Louis. All of them got black businesses. We got 50 black businesses listing in all 20 cities. So we literally got 1,000 black businesses contact information across Black America. But we got to go there and have a conversation with them. But we need to have the narrative saying we did it. So going to Milwaukee, meeting with those 50 black businesses, we can't say what we want to do. We got to talk about what we just did. And so Milwaukee, Detroit, and St. Louis, before the children go back to school, they should be traveling to Chicago for the summits. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, travel was the plan, you know. So yeah, that's great. I mean, there's more exposure for them. Imagining New York or Atlanta coming here. We as well going to Georgia and places like that. Our people here, which is
Mm-hmm.
the greatness of exposure. I'm seeing something different.
And
So
think
that's a
about the
plus.
awards. And think about if your eighth grader win the best spelling bee competition on the east side, then she competes against the west side. Then she's the best in Chicago. Now she competes against the best in Gary. Then she competes against the best in Milwaukee, Detroit, St. Louis. Look at how exciting that is as she make rounds competing in the spelling bee or whatever the competition is. The point is, this adds intrigue and vibrancy to our community.
That's the key word, vibrancy. Where it was desolate at first, now it's alive. That's what I
Yeah.
get out of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like the governor of Milwaukee might say, Governor Charles, I bet you ground beef, whatever, corned beef, that's their famous food. If y'all win, if vice versa, you give us deep dish pizza if we win. So see how you can get everyone involved when you got this little eighth grade competition, but the whole city's now saying they pulling for their person. So now you galvanizing the people behind Milwaukee person, we galvanize Chicago behind the Chicago person. It is something that will allow us as blacks in Chicago to stop making excuses of being separated and get on board, even if it's just to ride for your city against another city.
Yep. To me, in that way, it will wake the politics up of different cities too. To see that, hey, well, that took crime down and all that stuff. So, hey,
And think about LaShawn as congressman. Who's the congressman in Milwaukee? Who's the
there you
congressman in
go.
Detroit? Who's the congressman in St. Louis? Let's put a wager up, and fight for the best, eighth grade competition winner. But we can play with all of that is the point.
I see it. Yep.
Because I want people to know all this is being held back over the $1 like that. Just keep driving that home so that way they'll know what's holding us back. We gotta hit that. Like ain't no way around that. All right. And just so people know that's watching, we are not just going to Milwaukee. There's a plan. This is the whole year. These are real neighborhoods in Milwaukee. Every first Wednesday of the month is Milwaukee's once a month duty day. So these are all the first Wednesdays for the whole year. We already know in June, Hilltop Parish. We already know in October, Sherman Park. So every first Wednesday, we're getting to know more and more people in these towns. What's your thoughts on that, Gov?
Once again, the exposure, and that way people are meeting people, and then we got this 108 profession. I mean, that line things up beautifully, and just once again with the politic of things, yeah, they could have stuff like that. My state versus your state and spelling, with the youth, you know, ties everything in. Um,
And again, when we in St. Louis, we already know. Look at them. Them are real neighborhoods in St. Louis. Every fourth Tuesday, which is today. You see the date on that, March 24th. That's what today is. We know every month where we at in St. Louis. So imagine going there once we got our 1,000 in Chicago, our 1,000 in Milwaukee. Hey, St. Louis, get y'all 1,000 so y'all people can come. Let's go. Let's do this.
yep. Once again, tying everything together, and just like we say, real. Just like when we went to St. Louis, we was on the real blocks that we was supposed to be on at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So, all I see the sequence of that
Mm-hmm.
timing thing. You know how important that is. So that keeps us consistent. You know, with what
Yeah.
supposed to be happening. You know, yeah.
Look at Detroit. Every fourth Monday of the month, Detroit. So we already know that was yesterday, March 23rd. We was in the Herman Gardens neighborhood. What lawyers are in Herman Gardens? What lawyers are in any of these neighborhoods? So that way they'll know today is the Lawyers' Day. So wherever we go, keep meeting black people, find out what their passions are, and get them to the code that makes sense for them. But imagine once St. Louis, once Detroit, 1,000 people, then Detroit, 1,000 people. Now they coming to the convention. Now they coming to the summit. So it's like it's a repetitive thing, but it all hinges on getting the on 1,000. Got a few more that I want to get on record so people can understand why we doing this. All right. So here, the black businesses are crucial. Um, so let me show this one here. The new black economy is about information, travel, and real estate. When we go to Detroit, St. Louis, what are we looking for? Information. We looking for information on who's a lawyer, who's a judge, what child want to be a lawyer, what child want to be a judge. That information acquisition person is a job. So imagine your son getting out of jail, he gets the title, he's an information acquisition specialist. What that mean? Mean he go door to door and get acquire information. That title sounds good. It can boost his self-esteem. You know what I mean? And it's a legitimate title, and he does. He travel around and gather information for us. What does that information do? It allows us to get that lawyer to the lawyers convention in Gary. It allows that information, that child that want to be a lawyer, linked to the real lawyer in their zip code. So information jobs not going nowhere. You need it until the end of earth, end of time. Travel, you just saw. We know exactly what blocks in St. Louis and Detroit, all over that we should be on. So when we are financially afloat, we can then pay people to travel to these cities and do the same thing, which is gather information, network it in together. And then real estate, you got to have a place to stay. So wherever you're traveling, we want to make sure our people are getting into real estate so they can earn sustainability in their family's name. So information, travel, real estate, information is forever. It's crucial. Without it, all bad things can happen. It keeps us employed, and the money is going to go toward housing, awards, travel, training, and manpower. We call that HAT TM. Housing that goes to the real estate part. You got to have a place to stay. That's also for church meetings. We pay the churches to let us meet there. So anything where we're being using space that goes under the housing budget. The awards, we talked about that. Eighth graders traveling, winning money. The travel speaks for itself. Everything what we're doing now is training. Just imagine going to a college and training them students on the codes and everything. And then manpower. We got to get paid to do this work in order to have long-term sustainability. We 46 million strong in this country, so imagine $46 million a month coming in. That's the beauty. What you think about this document, Gov?
Yeah, I could imagine those youngsters. Once again, and the people, just like you say, people that gotta get out of prison and stuff. That's instant gratification for them because they making money doing it, and just as you say, it boosts their confidence to probably having them not to go back because they get a chance to once again travel and
Mm-hmm.
do stuff. That's like the youngsters how they look for. Hey, we going to Atlanta this weekend, so I'm gonna be good. You're gonna do everything good, so to not land in jail or not put yourself in a bad predicament to get there.
Yep.
So that's
Yep.
changing that mindset at the same
Yep.
time, changes the mind.
No, that's big. All right, that's the last one here. Um, and I think the other piece that we want to keep in front of everybody, the money is accountable by the zip code in which it came from. If we had $10,000 came in from 60628, we need to show the next month how $10,000 was spent in 60628. The benefit of that, wherever we are, the accountability stays where it came from. So that way we know that your dollars is going to circulate to help your community out. So that's a beautiful thing here. And it's the last one here. This is the 7 daily living habits for those who never heard it. It's the village concept where we love on each other. We build stronger blocks through literally daily action. Every Sunday is family day. Let's zoom in there. So that's about families reconnecting, sharing meals, talking. Then you got every Monday, safety day, making sure you smoke alarm work, you know your neighbors. Today, every Tuesday is education day. Keep learning, never stop learning, You get down to Wednesday, Blue Wednesday, it's all about economics. Buy black, not giving our money to people who don't care about our conditions. Then Thursday, tomorrow, let's go. Let's do something to be healthier, be around. That's mental health, dental health, physical health. Then Friday, we love on them seniors, make sure that they don't die of loneliness. And then Saturday, biggest one, y'all, is we pour into our future, the young people. All right, Governor, that's it, man. What you think about it?
Awesome. That's my favorite one, 7 daily living habits, because once again, it puts us on the schedule. We got, I
Yep.
mean, you got safety day. I mean, safety day, which is Monday. Then you got education. It puts everything in the box. That way, you will know what day, they just give it once again the concept of what days can I reach out for this. Economic days Wednesday. I could get on the economic Zoom or whatever
Right.
and get some answers or either network or whatever you want to do. Each day is there for that. That's the thing that's surrounded by time too. So that's a good thing. That's great. Love.
Excellent. All right. This Saturday is our summit. It is at 100 North Central Park. That's the West Side Golden Dome, 3 o'clock to 5. However, we're going to be with Sankofa. They're going to be out there 11 o'clock to 2. That's an African centric event. They're going to have vendors out there. And then we get started with the Global Summit at 3 o'clock on the dot. That's this Saturday, March 28th. You got any announcements, Governor, before we conclude?
At the moment, not at this moment, but yeah, everybody, this thing is real. Please help us. Please donate your dollar to NBCU. Si, you want to tell them how can they donate?
Yes, through Zelle and Cash App. This phone number 312. That's the area code 405-8844. So 312-405-8844. That's directly to Zelle and to Cash App. If you PayPal it, it'll go through our website, www.nationalblockclubuniversity.com. That's www.nationalblockclubuniversity.com. Thanks for bringing that up. And Sister, I was hoping Madeline would have got on. She didn't. Sister Gail has a scenario where we want to make sure that Madeline and her legal professionals can support Sister Gail's situation. And I told Sister Madeline, we want to know the 4 times out the year that we can fundraise and help put money in the coffers just to keep her afloat and growing, so that when she have cases, she can offer super reduced rates, even or possibly free, because of the support she's getting from her zip code. So I just wanted to put that out there on Lawyers Day. That's the conversation we have with our lawyers. How do we get them to give us them 4 months out the year? We also let them know we want them to give back to eighth graders. That keeps the eighth grade parents wanting to work with them because they see them giving back. So thanks for you guys' time. Appreciate you. And this is going to be on YouTube in about 3 to 5 minutes. Peace.